Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are building things. We are completely done with our naval cap at this point. We could think about getting another fleet relatively soon. That is definitely an option. For right now, I'm going to hold off on that. We are currently working on... Actually, I want to check through our jobs real quick here. Are there any that we need to grab? No. Okay, so that looks good. We have our construction ships working over here. We're building hyper relays, and we're building our mining station here, and then we're going to go back up into Ofeng and build a hyper relay there. And then we're going to head on up over this way and grab our science that apparently we ended up missing up here. Apparently we're on normal speed. Let's bump that right on up to fastest. Excellent. And that autosave definitely creating some lag. We're beginning to enter the end game lag period, and we need to start talking about when this series is going to end. I think the answer to that is after the end game crisis, which should be soon, right? Like, that should be really soon. After the end game crisis, I think that'll be fine. We're not going for a galactic conquest or anything like that. So we'll just see what ends up happening with that. And our Empire capital here has an available job. We can definitely resettle that out to somewhere else. Like, for example, Everim. There we go. No problem there. Cool. Anything else that we need to have done? Well, actually not at the moment. So at the moment, we need to be thinking about what our plan is after we're done with this situation. We need to start building orbital rings, but we're still lacking a few mega structures. There's no doubt about that. We are currently working on our Sentry Hub and Strategic Coordination Center. We can only make 2 at a time. So for the moment, that's about as good as it's going to get. These guys rivaled us. Okay, sure, whatever. That's absolutely fine. We're still making our way through the unyielding tree, and it's going to take us a while to do so, at the current rate of Unity. We definitely want to continue to develop our worlds. These are currently set up as generator worlds. I don't think that's strictly speaking necessary. I think we should probably have some of these be Unity worlds, like unification centers. We're largely relying on our not tech world. We're largely relying on our mega structures for technology, right? So I think that's reasonably fine. So I'll designate these as unification centers for now. We've got this set up as a generator world. I guess we'll leave this one as a generator world. We do already have an energy grid here. It is manually set up as that. Ilix Secundus here. Okay, that's a little odd. No, I'm reading this wrong. Never mind, I'm dumb. We just need to clear these tile blockers. For some reason, I was thinking this was saying there were no tile blockers, but no, that's not what this says at all. We did finish up our energy weapon damage, so that's all well and good. Beyond that, what do we want to grab? Well, this mining world needs a little bit of work. It needs amenities and a job. It's not as good as it's going to get in terms of mining, but it's close. And so I think getting some form of amenity production here does make sense. We'll put in holo theaters, but we'll also upgrade this mineral purification hub for right now. Cool. Orbital rings for all of our worlds are going to be a fairly necessary thing. And we were working towards getting the Calictoran protectors taken over. We're not really looking to conquer much beyond that. We know that this is going to cost 200. It's going to be a little more than 200. These are our current claims. This is going to cost, I think, 240 was what we determined. Yeah, 240. So that's fine. We are actually pretty close on that. Looks good. Why do you have substantial class frigates? Let's get these frigates on out of here. They do not need to exist. So they were probably built and were in transit when we changed over to no longer using frigates, is I'm guessing what happened there. There's just a few of these that do not need to exist, and that means that we need additional... Oh, this is resetting to the top every time, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay, that's awkward.
Blocker liquidated.
Okay. So we're going to disband these frigates. We do not need frigates. Get out of here, frigates. We do not like you. Like, I generally just don't think there's much of a use for frigates right now, at least not in the fleet doctrine that I'm using. There may well be additional use for frigates, but I much prefer corvettes. So that means that we do require a few additional ships here to max out. I just want to make absolutely sure. Yes. Okay, that looks good. And let's get those built. Beautiful. Interestingly, oh, they were counting. Okay, because I was going to say our naval cap didn't go down, but then it did. It just took a little time to update. So no problem there. That looks good. When we launch our invasion of the Calyctoran Protectors, we're going to very much overwhelm them. 93.5k, 93.5 and 97.8. Okay, so this location is going to be a bit of a tough nut to crack. These will be very easy. Planetary build speed finishing, sure. That's all well and good. Any jobs work that we need done right now? That's a negative for the moment. Okay. So we're nearly ready to attack the Calyctoran Protectors. Assuming that we can get our Federation to vote on it. They don't need to actually participate. We may want to expand our army before we do this, though. Can we have anything other than assault and clone armies? I'd like to have, like, xenomorph armies. Yes. Let's do one more here, and we're going to do something like this. Yeah, we're basically out of alloys for that, or rather minerals for that. So we're going to get some xenomorphs going here. That'll be ideal. These guys are going to be able to start moving once they get their additional corvettes here, which should be very, very soon. That's all looking good. Okay, you are currently heading out. You already finished up in Ofang. Yep, that looks good. Cool. Once you finish up there, hopefully we'll have another slot for constructing a megastructure. Our Sentry Hub is going to be done soon, but are these actually the final upgrades? I don't think so. Certainly not for the Strategic Coordination Center site. That's for sure. Okay, we're back up to 1080. We're going to bring these guys up here. Now, the majority of our fleets are going to hit Fadima. We're going to take the second contract enforcement fleet and put that in Sheet. Then we're going to take all of the rest of these and we're going to put those in Fadima. The majority of those are going to head into here, but the planned swarm is going to head down this direction and hit the Gindor Black Hole into Riak. Everything else will hit up here, although there's a revolt brewing on the core. We'll deal with that in a moment. And we may want to consider sending a second fleet up over to Sheet, and we will do that. Okay, let's take a look at this revolt quick. We are going to need to deal with this, of course. What do we have going on here? So we're going to institute a crackdown. They will have to be dealt with. Okay. Order has been restored. Cool. Well, that was easy. Fantastic. So we're going to get into position here and hope that our Federation doesn't veto this plan. But I don't think that they will. So we're going to have 3 fleets to attack with here, 2 fleets to attack with here, and then 1 fleet that goes out over this way. That seems reasonable to me. I don't think we're going to have any major issues with that. We are working on our Xenomorph armies, and that'll take a little while, but we're primarily waiting right now. The Space Storm Magical has arrived. Okay, that's quite a name for a space storm, but sure. I forgot what we were talking about. Oh, right. We need additional influence, and that's what we're waiting on as we get some Xenomorph armies going here. We're going to start replacing our clone armies with Xenomorphs, I think. It should be fine. The Sentry Hub is finishing now. Beautiful. We're going to immediately continue to upgrade it. Cool. So with that being the case, we're not going to be able to construct another megastructure out over here. And it costs influence. Hello, what is this? The hierarchy again? They'll have to contend with our whole Federation, though. Uh-huh. These guys joined the Galactic Information Entente. That's probably what's going on here. In that case, we are not going to declare this war. We're going to head back to Edamar. And I'm going to produce a single Corvette at this point. A strong class Corvette. Okay, sounds good.
Liquidated.
I want to check in on our edicts here. Our forge subsidies are off. We would be barely negative if we ran forge subsidies. Let's do that, and we'll work on our unification centers. This mining world needs a planetary capital upgrade. We'll definitely get that going. Cool. So yeah, we're just going to pop back over here. That changes our plans. Definitely. What do we know about the hierarchy's plans? Due to lack of intel, we don't know when they're planning to do this. Are they shrimp now? Have they always been shrimp? I don't know. That's kind of exciting. Let's send somebody over here. This guy. Okay. Sounds good. So, I mean, they have very powerful fleets here. And they've hired a bunch of mercs. We have allies, though, and it should, in theory, be relatively okay.
Upscaling complete.
But we definitely need to prepare. This time, though, we do not stand alone. What do we suppose the odds are that they hit terminal egress super hard? I think it's obvious that they do. Alloy price is currently very cheap. Buying in a stockpile is not a bad idea. So we're going to do that. We'll keep an eye on when these guys are going to declare on us.
Blocker
But I mean, they've
liquidated.
lost every war they've declared on us so far. Well, maybe not the first one. Arguably, they won the first war. But we've won every war after that. That'll give us a chance to take Bazanok, which is really all we have designs on. So, I mean, if we look at the absorbers out over here, these guys are superior to us, and they've got these guys who are technically inferior. They actually are inferior. These guys are equivalent to us. So, I mean, we're going to have a lot of friends here. No doubt about it. These guys are, I think, the dangerous ones. Although, looking at it, their fleets aren't that strong. They have a... Yeah, they're only equivalent to us. Fascinating. Well, I definitely want to take the Able Swarm here, or rather the Set Swarm, and we want to add in... Can we have an additional Titan? We cannot. Okay, so we want to add in Battleship, Cruiser, Destroyer, Frigate, and a Firm-class Corvette. So this one we're going to go to, I think, 4 battleships, 8 cruisers, 16 destroyers. We don't want that frigate. Get out of here with that. And then we're going to take our corvettes up to like 60. No, not quite that big. 34. This is definitely more than I thought it would be. Okay, 2 battleships previously. We might want to go to like 3, 6, and then 12. And then 54 and 54. That seems reasonable. Although maybe we should keep it like it is like this. I mean, the bulk of our fleet power does come from corvettes, right? So we could do something in theory like this. That will put us over our naval cap, and that'll be quite a bit to get that done. But let's hit that reinforce all fleet button, and let's get those corvettes building.
Blocker liquidated.
Beautiful. We're in a much better position than we have been up until now. But I do want to get additional ships going. Eventually, we're going to need to build defense platforms around our stations. There's no doubt about that. We are losing unity at this moment. That's not shocking, considering that we are running our edict. So all things considered, this seems reasonably fine. That said, maybe we don't need research subsidies anymore. I think arguably we can get rid of that. Although I think more importantly, we can get rid of our capacity subsidies. I think that's the easier thing to get rid of here. That seems fine. What's the price on alloys right now? Dropped back down. Okay, I love it. We're going to buy in at least a few. We need 16,000 to fully reinforce. Seems fine. Xenoanthropologist. Cool. So we'll see when these guys actually declare. The Mulweagle Union, that's these guys here. Not super shocking. Remember, we can get around much, much, much more easily now. And we can defend our territory that way. We're going to want to take Bazanak. That's going to be relatively high priority, but we can get there super easily from Halvam. Super, super easily. So that shouldn't be a major issue. We'll continue to reinforce our fleets as we get alloys in. And then we'll bank alloys after that. We'll probably not build additional... Well, the Strategic Coordination Center... Wait, hang on a moment. We just became the new president of the Federation. Neat. Okay, so that's absolutely great. The Federation is, of course, in rotation mode. We could go over to random. Which actually they would support. They would not support challenge mode. Okay. So ultimately we're going to want to make our way through this Federation here. We're currently level 2. We would like to move over to challenge, but the challenge type is going to be interesting. Like, we can see we're second highest on economic power. And we do actually want to purchase this service. So we should sell off some exotic gases here and purchase that service. There we go. So we're the leader of the Federation. That should mean that we have access to the Federation fleet now. Or the Federation fleets, plural. Yes. We're going to move these down to Halvam right now. This can be upgraded. That's interesting. Actually, let's just bring them over to Ascension's End for right now. And we can upgrade those fleets to latest designs there. Cool. So that'll do for now. Now, if we wanted to build to this... What is our current Federation naval cap? Command limit isn't enough to add to this. We can add to this. Our Federation can only support 2 Titan-sized ships. Okay. So we'll go for, like, battleships and cruisers. I'm going for ones that would ideally not require a lot of artifacts. And then destroyers and corvettes. Okay, so how many of these can we actually fit? We'll go for, like, something like 5, 10, 20... 0 frigates, ideally, but we've got the 19 that we can have right now. And then up to 41 here. Okay. We're still going to work on reinforcing this fleet. That is still the highest priority right now. So we'll continue to work on that. We're now the Federation president, which does change things a little bit. Okay. Well, we're definitely pumping out a bunch of ships right now, but we're mostly alloy limited at this moment. I'm going to buy in another 2,500 alloys. And we're going to continue to use that on the Set Swarm. There we go. We're getting a lot closer to the Set Swarm being dumb. I said dumb. I mean, it's already kind of dumb, but it's going to get more dumb. Perfect. The unceasing tit raiders here are going to be titrators? I'm not sure how that's supposed to be pronounced. We're as good as we're going to get here other than the upgrade. So that's fine for the moment, and this requires quite a lot of build-up. So our alloys are going to start going here eventually. No shipyard available to build fleet. That's interesting.
Blocker
So we
liquidated.
can't add in our ship types here. Can we create a Federation ship type? That would maybe be in the Federation view. Fleets. Federation ship designer. Okay, so we would come in here and create our own Federation ship types, probably. And this would need to be basically a copy of the ones that we have right now. So we would do an armor destroyer set in swarm mode. This would get living reactive armor, although we would need to go down to an obsolete component here because we don't actually have access to living metal. And then we would do armor here. Don't hide obsolete, or do hide obsolete components now. And then we'd run a neutronium armor here. And we don't want to auto-design this. So we save that. And then we would do another one, which would be a picket ship design. This one would be, of course, running... Let's see here. We need flak artillery. And then Stormfire autocannons. The idea here is that this is about breaking through the shields, and the other is about breaking through the armor. So that's all well and good. And this is all looking fine here. Our defenses remain the exact same. So we put in neutronium armor, and then we would need to put in some reactive armor. And then we'd save this as the Picket class Corvette, I guess. We have the Corvette class and the Picket class. Perfect. That's going to be the bulk of these fleets, of course. And so this, I'm going to remove these. These guys here, we're going to want to remove pretty much all of these frigates. We disband this fleet. And then we create a new Federation fleet. This one is maxed out at 181, and we're not going to do too much to that. We'll need to come in over here and build a Federation Corvette class Corvette. That'll create a new Federation fleet for us to work from.
Upscaling complete.
Okay. Now, we want to basically copy our Rugged class destroyer, which we can see here is even defensively and running just autocannons. This is all about removing shields, and our cruisers are all about removing armor, and then these guys, we might actually just run pure... We might just run pure artillery here. Yeah, I think that we should probably just run kinetic artillery here. Oh, these are medium-sized slots. So we'd want to run like an artillery corps then. Like that. But I don't necessarily think that's actually worth doing. 3 kinetic artillery versus 2 kinetic artillery and 2 whirlwind missiles? Yeah, that probably is worth doing, actually. Okay, let's do it. So this was our armor here. We're going to need to upgrade all of these, but it should be pretty much neutral. A ship of this design is currently being built. Yeah, we're going to have to cancel that and cancel this. And then go back in here and go to our battleship, which we're at here, and now save it. The Be Illustrious class. Now we're going to upgrade all of these guys. And yeah, that's extremely cheap. So we'll get all of that going. I'm not sure why they're not upgrading here at Edamar. Just upgrade here. Okay. There we go. I want all of you to upgrade here. Are they all upgrading? Yes, they're all upgrading now. Perfect. So we'll let that go for the time being. Edamar will be busy for a bit, I'm sure, but that's completely fine. We're going to get this Federation Corvette going here. We're going to need to get some Federation ship types here. So we're going to add in a new design. This is going to be destroyers. And this is going to be like gunship bow and gunship stern. The destroyer design was focused on... and hide obsolete components. The destroyer design was focused on autocannons. So we do something like that, and then it was even defenses, neutronium armor, dark matter deflectors, and then this... Actually, we had the 2 utility slots, so we did something kind of like this. Cool. So, Stormfire autocannons there. This should be set to... I guess picket range is kind of okay. Yeah, that'll do for now. And then I wanted to put in the... not the neutronium armor. The reactive armor here. And then I also wanted to put in the shield hardening, which is the advanced shield hardener. Okay. So something like that for our destroyer. Then we're going to need to make a quick cruiser, and this was going to be probably broadside, all medium size here. And this was going to be pure plasma. The entire point behind this is burning through armor. Then we would put in neutronium armor. We would put in dark matter deflectors. Checking in on this. This is currently set to line range, which is medium range. We could probably have it... Yeah, line is probably fine. And then we would go down to our shield hardener, and we would put in, of course, our reactive armor. But the shield hardener didn't go in. Okay. We'll save that. Beautiful. And now we will add in... That was our Corvette. So now we'll do our battleships, which were focused entirely around... Actually, this was a spinal mount bow. We had giga cannons and then kinetic artillery, taking down those shields as quickly as we can. We'll put the advanced shield hardener in, and we will, of course, put in the reactive armor, and then our standard defenses. And then you sit back at artillery range. Perfect. We'll save that, and we'll make a Titan really, really fast here. So a Titan bow, a Titan core, and a Titan stern. Let's run, as far as the Titan bow goes, all we have is the Perdition Beam, I think. And then we were going to run just pure kinetic artillery out here. Beautiful. And then standard defenses. So armor, deflectors. This could certainly be like a nanobot cloud. I don't mind that. And then we would have this, of course, be... reactive armor, and then shield hardening, and maybe even toss in like a shield capacitor. Something like that should be fine. This sits back at artillery range as well. Cool. So now we have all of that good to go, and we can hop into our fleet here. We need to let this Corvette finish. Any moment now. And yeah, these upgrades are going to be a little bit lengthy, but they should be relatively simple. Nothing too major here. So that Corvette finishes.
Upscaling complete.
And where did that go? Did that go into here? No. It shouldn't have, anyway. There it is, the prepared swarm. I just didn't see it there. Okay, so we're going to add in our Titan. Or not this Titan. We can't actually have additional Titans here. So we wanted to add in... Which one of these was ours? It would be the battleship class, the cruiser class, the destroyer class, and then the picket class. Beautiful. We're going to do 2, 4, 8, and then roughly 1 trillion of each of these corvettes. We'll take out a couple here and do it something like that. There we go. Okay, that looks good. We'll continue to reinforce our fleets, but it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, We'll see how this war goes. Should be interesting. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, James, Shadowwolf, M. Lohan80, Rogue Corvid, Kentogan, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.